Hi, welcome to Women in Music and Arts. This is the Sandy Kastel Show, Lunch with Sandy. Here at the Siena Italian Restaurant on West Sahara, 9500 West Sahara, just west of Fort Apache. I've got a friend of mine here with me today, and he's going to sing a little song for you, together with me. Here we go. Of me, why not take all of me? Can't you see I'm no good without you?
Take my lips, I want to use them. Get a piece of these arms, I want to lose them.
Your goodbye,
yeah,
left me with eyes that cry.
Yeah, but that was your fault.
How can I get along without you? You took the part that once was my heart, so why not take all of me? Hit it, band! You're here with Sandy Kastel, and my guest Gary Anthony is singing along with me. My co-host Amy Frost is here today, and we have guest Brian Benson and Rochelle Roberts, and many, many more. We hope you enjoy this. We're here every Wednesday from 12 to 1 at the Siena Italian Restaurant. Your goodbye.
Your goodbye.
Left me with eyes that cry.
Yeah, I cried.
How can I get along without you?
You took the part that once was my heart,
so why not take all of? Why
all
not take all of? Why not take all of me? Ooh.
Wow.
Thank you. Wow, Gary Anthony, stay here for just a minute. I want to just let you talk about a little bit about what you're up to these days. I know you've been working on a couple of projects, and you just finished a project that you've got a new DVD out.
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Actually, it's selling in Malaysia. It's,
yeah.
number 3 in Malaysia.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Oh, good. Well, when are you going to bring it to the United States?
Well, that's what I'm working on right now. In fact, I just got the notice that they're going to Europe with it.
Oh my gosh. And you were just in Canada.
Yeah, with the Rat Pack.
With the Rat Pack.
Yeah.
And a few of the people, I think Kent and your wife went up there to see you, didn't they?
Yep, they did.
Yeah.
What did you think? Okay, did it pass?
It was the greatest.
Excellent.
Because it was the greatest. I pay him to say that.
Well, that's good. You paid him well, I'm sure. Well, we've got a lot of guests here today, and we want to get started right away. So thank you so much, Gary Anthony, for starting out the show with me. And we'll talk to you in a little bit. And Amy Frost, you've got something for us, a Delivering Happiness message.
Well, first off, can you hear me?
Can we hear her? Ah, let's see. Can we hear her now? Is the microphone on? Let's turn the microphone on. There.
Carol,
now
can you hear me?
There we go. Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Perfect. First off, that was beautiful.
Thank
you
you.
for that.
Thank
I mean,
you.
and all of me. I mean, we've been talking about visions and getting ready for visions, and it's about putting all of me right in that vision and making that happen.
All sides of me.
All sides of
That's
me.
right. We have talked about this.
We really have. Well, 'cause if you don't, if one part of you conflicts, right, with another part of you, you're not going to make that vision happen. So that's a great song for that. Get all of me involved in my vision.
That's right. And we're going to be talking about the balancing of our lives, this weekend at the Tapping Into Your Talents
Wonderful.
workshop.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so you're right. A lot of this is balancing the different sides of ourselves and making sure that we're incorporating them in everything that we're doing.
And it's time to, not leave. We don't leave any part of us behind.
Well, we've got to honor each part of ourselves,
Absolutely.
because sometimes we have that part of us that's the entertainer,
Right.
like I do,
Right.
and then you have that inward side of me that's meditating, or that's doing the tarot cards or looking at my astrology chart, and checking out things and just balancing the inner with the outer, and making sure that we're in tune with what our path is and what our goals are that we want to accomplish. And just like last night, I was at the Suncoast with the Baby Boomers mixer. It was that Las Vegas
business, networking,
the place for baby boomers.
Huge.
It is
Oh my
the baby
God.
boomer place.
Yeah, it was wonderful. And I met a lot of great people, and some people that I've been seeing at a lot of different events, and we're all reaching out to each other. We've got a lot of different events.
And working together. That's
we're
really
working
exciting.
together, teaming up, doing collaboration.
So what we were saying, we've been talking about visioning, and that's a great thing, but now we're in the new year. Now it's about let's take some action.
That's right.
So you have a vision, what are we going to do about it?
Right.
And I was thinking about it, how could I really help people with what's a great tool to start off the year with. And I taught for University of Phoenix for 5 years, college professor. And one of the classes I taught was critical thinking and decision making. And that I think is really critical to being effective in your world. And a large part of that in making decisions is usually, certainly we think about the critical part, the pros and the cons, but I think equally important is the intuitive side of it. And a quote by Carl Jung, which I really love, says, your vision will become clear only when you look into your heart. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakens.
Okay.
And that's what we're talking about, is awakening that passion. And we're talking the business of being an artist. And being an artist is living your passion. And that's what everything's about. And how do we bring good, sound business principles to that? And believe it or not, intuition is a good, sound business principle, which we're going to teach you. And Dr. Jonas Salk says, the intuitive mind will tell the thinking mind where to look next. So when you're really on your path, full on your path, you set goals, you set visions, you take action, but you're really in free fall.
Right.
And you don't know that next person you're going to meet, that could be the person that's the key to everything that you've been working for your whole entire life.
Well, one of the things we were talking about last night is there was a group of people, circulating around the room. And the thing of it is, a lot of times you go to these mixers and you wonder, well, who am I going to meet? Who am I going to meet? And some people
trying to make something happen.
And some people are out there, they're running around, they're giving their cards to everybody, but are they really connecting?
Exactly. Just how many cards I threw at somebody is not going to help your career.
That's right. It's a matter of following up. We set up 2 mixers, two companies that are going to be hosting our mixers coming up, already. And then one of our new members is doing a dance. She's putting it out there that she wants to do this whole company, the dance company, and she says,
for
okay,
boomers, right?
we're gonna have a meeting. It's everyone dancers over 40.
Yay, we like that.
And so she says, I just put it out there. We're having a meeting, and whoever shows up, that's who shows up.
And that's how it works.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And certainly, you got to set up everything, do your part, go to dance classes, do the things you need to do, but then those opportunities are come open and you take them.
Yeah, and you can offer as many opportunities to people as you want, but if they don't take the steps to grab hold of those and incorporate them into their lives.
Well, my favorite things is their potential. There's so much, potential.
So much potential.
Potential means I didn't do it yet. And I'm really tired of potential.
Well, listen, I've got a lot of people here today that are accomplishing things, that are going out there and doing things. And a matter of fact, come on and pull your chair up here, Brian. I want to get you guys up here. Come on. And Rochelle, I see she's eating, so, go ahead and eat your food. That's what you're here to do, too, is have lunch with Sandy. So sit right over there, Brian. Over there. And then we've got April Azzolino, and we've got, we got Steve Rossi. Steve, where are you? Hey, Steve. Oh, he's flirting with the girls. I should have known. He's surrounded by gorgeous women. What is it about you, Steve? Oh, I see. Well, we won't talk about that right now. But we'll have Steve up later. So, hi, Brian. How are you?
Good, Sandy. How are you?
Welcome to Women in Music and Arts, the show Lunch with Sandy.
Thank you.
And I hope let's see. Give me a little test.
Test. One,
Test. I think that's you. Okay, so.
All right, we're going to ask you to sing now.
Yeah.
Anything but that.
Give us what's your song that you're going to sing, April?
I'm not singing.
So, we just did a workshop, or we had to have a mastermind series last Saturday downtown at the Emergency Arts Center with Denny Morales, who's here with us. Hi, Denny. How you doing?
Great.
And I'm not going to say who else is sitting with him because we're going to talk to her later. We'll introduce her. But he's also sitting with a lovely lady.
That's a surprise gift.
And anyway, we had Rochelle and myself and Brian, and we had a mastermind series.
Yes.
It was wonderful. I really enjoyed it. You were streaming online.
Yes.
And what's the website that you stream online with that?
That's a great question.
Oh, what?
It's through live stream.
Livestream.
If you go to our website, my website, we do it monthly, so there's a way that we can get that link to you.
Right. Okay. So, how did you get involved with that to begin with?
Well, Danny and I were just talking one day, and we just kind of brainstormed the idea. You know, we thought it'd be a lot of fun to have 3 people discussing one topic, and having lots of people watching it. You know, 3 heads are better than one, and especially when the 3 panelists that we have are all experienced in coaching and working on themselves, and you know, in tune with what the monthly topic is.
And our monthly topic last week
was being your true authentic self in the new year. Yeah.
Right. And it was funny, throughout the conversation, Rochelle was saying, you know, tapping into, I heard you say tapping into, and I was, and it's, you know, I don't know if it's subconscious or not, but our topic this weekend is tapping into your talents and balance your life and unleash your inner artist.
Absolutely.
You know, so I know we're going to be talking about that, but everything that we're talking about is so much about balance and really what we're tapping into, whether it's your inner artist or it's your inner abilities to do something else. Everybody's got a different path.
Yes.
You know, and you've authored 4 or 5 books now, right?
Yeah, 5, and I've got another one kind of in the works. Yeah.
And tell us how you got involved in writing.
Well, you know, my first book came through me about 4 years ago. I was really out of balance myself. I was running the family business. I knew in my heart that it wasn't what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And so I just came up with a few things that I knew that would keep me in balance through that period. And it worked really well, so I thought, why not expand the list? And I made it into a book, and I was really blessed. I won a couple awards, and it kind of just opened my new path.
Well, now, when you put that book out there, how did you put it out there?
I self-published it.
Okay, self-published.
Yes.
And then you promoted it online on your website?
Yeah, online,
or through
Facebook,
friends?
you know, just however I could get it out there. I would go to bookstores and they could sign it for me. I mean, you name it, I tried it.
So was it easy to set up signings in the bookstores?
It wasn't as difficult as I thought it would be. Yeah, I actually set up like a 15-stop little tour over the course of about 3 weeks. That was a lot of states and did some workshops and book signings. And, yeah.
Well, that's great. Now, what's your website again?
gbrianbenson.com.
Okay, and so that's where everyone can find out about your books. And also, we're going to talk about your other activities that you're involved in too, right after this message from our sponsors. So if you're just tuning in now, we are broadcasting live on KLAV at the Siena Italian Restaurant at 9500 West Sarah Avenue. We'll be right back. Yay! Women in Music and Arts. Oh, wait. Not yet. I hear them. They're still talking. Wait a minute. That was a false start. We'll have to do it again. Now. Yay! Welcome back to WIMA, Women in Music and Arts. You're here for the Sandy Kastel Show, Lunch with Sandy. And my host today is Amy Frost. And our guests are Brian Benson. I've got April Azzolino. Azzolino, excuse me. And we've also got Denny Morales out here, and we've got Rochelle Roberts, we've got Steve Rossi, we have Gary Anthony, who started us off with a song, Singing Along With Me. And we just got a lot of other people here. So Brian, you were talking a little bit about publishing your own book, self-publishing, and Amy has a question for you.
I had to work with so many people who said, oh, I want to do a book, I should do a book, blah, 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 blah. So what is a good piece of advice?
Wow. You know, if you're just totally starting out and you just feel like you just itch that you want to write something, don't put yourself on don't put a lot of pressure on yourself by feeling you have to just write it straight through. You know, come up with a few outlines or a few little topics you want to discuss, or you know, and then just write underneath each one of them, and eventually going to find somebody to edit for you, and that will kind of help it kind of streamline itself. I cannot.
That's easy for you to say.
I know, gosh. And you know, it'll start to take form.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's really, and then I think it's really important. You know, you don't have to do everything. I have a professional editor.
Right.
I have a website guy. I have I don't do that stuff. I do what I'm really good at.
Just write from your heart.
Yeah. Great. Thank you.
Oh, you're just lucky to have a web guy.
Lucky? No.
I thought you 3 or 4 of them. Maybe I really need a web girl is what I need. So if there are any web girls out there.
I have the right guy.
You got that right guy, baby. Now listen, I'm with WIMA, Women in Music and Arts, and we're a nonprofit organization of literary, visual, and performing artists, and we rely on the sponsorship and kindness and of donations from all of our members and all of our sponsors out there. So please, check out our website, which is wimafoundation.org. We're lucky to be here every Wednesday on KLAV, 12:30 a.m., broadcasting live at the Siena Italian Restaurant. I'm so excited to have everyone on the show today. So Brian, tell us a little bit about your treks, your bicycling, you've been through so many different triathlon, what are they called?
Yeah, I've been really blessed. From a very early age, I kind of just have always kind of gone for things. And I got interested in triathlons in my early 20s due to a knee injury, and started rehabbing it, felt good, and then I set a goal for myself to do a small triathlon, and it went really well. It gave me a lot of confidence, and it led me to doing over 50 races, including 4 Ironman distance races. Wow. And so that was really to be able to do at such a young age. It gave me the confidence that I could pretty much do anything I want.
That's great. So now, you're just joining us is Rochelle Roberts, and she was on the Mastermind series with us last Saturday, also down at the Emergency Arts Center. Hi, welcome, Rochelle.
Hello.
It's good to have you here today. You look lovely. You've got a nice, beautiful. You're going to have to get closer to the microphone.
Oh, hi.
All right. That's a nice necklace there. Now, what does that symbolize? It's a lot of circles within circles within circles.
My dear goddess friend in Portland
yes.
is an amazing jewelry maker, and this is all about the goddess.
Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
So,
it's very inspiring.
Lauren Harkness, I'm giving you some love.
Well, so I know you do a lot of coaching
Yes.
with creative people. You said you work with creatives.
Creative entrepreneurs.
Creative entrepreneurs. And I know there's a lot of them out there.
Yes.
Yeah, and some of them are sitting at home that are creative, and you say they're entrepreneurs, but maybe there's some that are sitting at home that they're not as confident yet to get out there and get their ideas out. How can you help them get their ideas out?
Well, first, I've been coaching for 15 years, so I think that, I do it. I think as coaches, we're doing our daily practice. That's what we do, and we have to practice what we talk constantly. Otherwise, we're, not doing our thing.
It's kind of like a bodybuilder, that's trying to teach people how to bodybuild, but he's not very buffed.
Right.
That's a physical thing that we can see.
Right.
Sometimes with this other work that you're doing with coaching, and there's a lot of inner work that goes on with that.
Absolutely.
But
it's a daily practice for me.
Yeah.
And so what I would say to creative entrepreneurs is, first, I think it's really important for us to identify that we're all creative. Some of us have this kind of ache inside of us that we want to do something, but we're afraid to do. And I think the small steps of even just writing down what our desires are, like you kept saying, vision, and now it's action. But I think a lot of times people have a hard time writing down what it is that they really desire. And I think that's one of the first steps.
And there is such a connection between physically writing down something, and the connection that goes to the brain and to our hearts and to our souls. I've been doing DreamWorks for a long time, writing my dreams down since I was 29, which is just a few years ago.
That's right.
But I do have a lot of books that I filled out. And when I first started doing the dream writing, that's one of the tools that's been very helpful to me. When I first started doing it, I might just get a little idea or a little insight of something, and you make a little note. But as I continued to do it, I would write more and more and more every time I'd wake up. Of course, you have to get yourself the minute that you wake up, and you can't get out of bed. You got to stay right there and get your thoughts down, because it's very important. But there's a real good connection that happens when you write your thoughts down, and I think for creative people it's very important, and everybody to just
Well, I think that there's if a creative entrepreneur really wants themselves or their businesses to grow, I think one of the most important tools is that they stay tuned in to what it is that turns them on. Because to me, it's like that's part of their business plan.
It's all about passion.
Right, and if they're not tuned into their passion consistently, I think a lot of times when I get or end up connecting with a creative business owner, they're burned out, frustrated, overwhelmed, and so on. And the first thing that I do with them is talk about what is on their overwhelm list. What are they talking about?
I've got a special guest here today. Come here, Giancarlo. Yes, please. I want you to have a seat right here. Right here in this special seat. Speaking of creative entrepreneurs, we are here at Siena Italian Restaurant. with John Carlo, and this is his lovely establishment. It's such a wonderful place. Your food is excellent.
Thank you.
So, where are you from, first of all?
Well, I was born in Italy, South Italy, and raised in Milan all my life,
Yes.
North. I came to the state when it was about 20 years ago.
And what brought you to Las Vegas?
Vegas, it's my brother lives here, so I want to stay close to the family. I used to have a restaurant in Sacramento, 2 of them I sold out and moved to Las Vegas.
Well, what are your specialties of the house that you would say are your number 1, 2, 3 specialties?
1, 2, 3. Well, there is so many.
I know, it's hard to choose.
One thing, for the pasta, I think it's the signature pasta, it's cavatelli. It's with the sausage ragu. It's pretty nice. It's a nice, spicy, perfect ragu with fresh made pasta with the ricotta cheese and the shapes of ears pasta.
That sounds good. Okay, that's number 1. What's number 2?
Number 1. If you like seafood, we have we have a lot of them actually. But the misto griglia, which is a little sort of seafood, it's like large scampi, fish of the day, calamari. There is a little bit assorted, and it's a nice one too.
That sounds good. My mouth is watering.
I've already had a little soup.
Okay. All right, so number 3.
Number 3, if you like steaks, you can have like a steak with, it's a nice New York steak, top of the line, with gorgonzola demi-glace reduction.
Oh my God.
That's a very nice too.
Well, I just want to thank you for hosting us here, for sponsoring Lunch with Sandy and Women in Music and Arts, and allowing us to be here. It's so wonderful to have lunch here at Siena Italian Restaurant. How about it, folks? Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, John Carlo. Okay. So, Michelle, so there you go. Perfect example. An intuitive, creative entrepreneur.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And what we were just saying is how important it is that I think it's built in the business plan to stay tuned into your passion.
Yes.
Without that, as a creative entrepreneur, that's where it goes south.
And obviously that's what he's passionate about, is being a chef, and so he brought his passion here. Yes,
Well, and then what's the problem with being an artist, and is I have to do the marketing, and I have to do the, all the other parts. You forget about it, but I love to sing and act and dance, and don't let that part go away. That's where you start the whole thing.
Well, that's why we need teamwork and collaboration.
And that's part of what I do, is I teach the people that I work with how to marry those pieces, so that it's not such a fear to market, it's not such a fear to do your bookkeeping, the business end, that they can go at it with some ease and grace and bring their creativity to it.
Right. Well, thank you so much, Rochelle. Now, where can people find out about you on the website?
GetInVision.com. And I have an awesome workshop coming up on the 19th as well.
Perfect. What is that?
It is, it's called, Is 2013 Going to Be Your Best Year Ever? And
of course!
Yes, absolutely. And it's a day to focus on creating your map, basically, as a creative professional.
Oh, good. I love that. Yeah. So what date again is that again?
It's January 19th, and it's downtown at 509 7th Street at the Boulevard's Magazine House.
Okay.
That's where my office is as well.
And so they can find out about that on your website?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Rochelle. And Brian, again, where can people find out about your books?
gbrianbenson.com.
gbrianbenson.com. And you can see more of Brian at the Tapping into Your Talents this Saturday at the Backstage Dance Studio, which is located out on Backstage Drive and DI. It's just right near the Boulder Highway. I don't have that address in front of me. I guess I better get it. Anyway, thank you so much, Brian.
Thank
you. We're going to be right back. If you're just tuning in now, you're listening to Sandy Kastel Show, the Lunch with Sandy, and we are broadcasting live on KLAV at the Siena Italian Restaurant at 9500 West Sahara Avenue. We will be right back.
Your host, Sandy Kastel. You're on.
Hi, welcome back to WIMA, Women in Music and Arts. This is the Sandy Kastel Show, Lunch with Sandy. And I've got so many guests here today. We just had Brian Benson and Rochelle Roberts, and Amy Frost, of course, is hosting with me. Hi, Amy.
I'm very happy. Are you happy?
I'm happy. I'm so happy.
I'm
happy to be here.
Do that.
Who is that? Oh, that must be Steve Rossi. Hi, Steve. How you doing today?
I'm doing great, and I'm very happy because this is the biggest crowd I've ever performed to.
Congratulations.
Makes me feel good.
Congratulations.
Oh, you are so funny. So, how are you doing today? What's going on in your life?
Well, I just had a sandwich here at Siena.
That's good. What did you have? Which one?
It was a Sicilian sandwich. It's hard for me to say Sicilian without my teeth coming out. Sicilian sandwich. It was very good, though. In fact, I'm still eating it.
Well, what I liked about Giancarlo was telling us is that he has 1, 2, 3. He has a top pasta dish, he has a top fish dish, and he has a top steak dish. So you can get a variety of foods here at Siena Italian Restaurant at 9500 West Sahara.
I used to do a joke. I said, I just had dinner in this fancy restaurant. And I said, and the food was untouched by human hands. The chef was a gorilla.
So, Steve, you've been you're working on that show with Rich Little, right? You're producing the show.
We're going to have a grand reopening in January 26th.
Okay.
At the LVH in the Shimmer Cabaret, which is going to be renamed the Rich Little Cabaret.
Congratulations.
And, we have a brand new set. We have big screen, high definition videos. So before he goes into an impression, you'll actually see the pictures of the people he's going to do, which I think is going to be very impressive, because when he does these different stars in Jimmy Stewart's life, he literally recreates them. And when you see the photo and then you see him doing it, it's going to really be impressive.
Well, Rich Little's been doing this for such a long time. I remember growing up here, you know, seeing him when I was a little girl.
I was a little boy when I first
You were. And he's just an. And doing Jimmy Stewart, I think, is a wonderful idea. That's such
you're invited,
a great insight.
And Amy and whoever else you want to invite.
So, how much are the tickets for the show?
They start out at $65 up to $99.
Okay, and you're doing that 3 nights a week now?
This month we took off most of the month.
Okay.
But we reopened January 26th.
That's right, January 26th.
That's a Saturday, and we work through Wednesday.
Okay. Oh, so you're doing Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday?
Yeah, we're doing 5 days.
5 days a week.
And he's been doing tremendous business. We have a whole new advertising campaign.
Okay.
And Mark Richards is handling all of the advertising.
Oh, that's good. And Mark Richards is with us here today,
constantly.
Too. Oh, no.
Yeah, he even shoots me in the bathroom. It's just amazing.
Oh, please. when they talk about shooting you, they do mean with a video camera.
Bullets.
Now, Steve, you've been working on another project, which is you're in the works with another songwriter here in town.
Yeah, with Heidi Thompson and Jean Cerrone and her husband.
Right.
We've been writing, excuse me, we just completed writing a show called The Friggin' Show.
The Frickin' Show.
The Friggin' Show.
Friggin'.
Originally, the name was The Frigginson Family Show, and now it's called The Friggin' Show.
Okay.
And it's a musical comedy burlesque show, but all original, a hilarious show. Every joke that we do in the show, I already tried. So, because it's not funny, you know, too many writers write material, they say, oh, this is hysterical.
Right.
And they don't get any laughs, you know.
Yeah, well, you got to go out and try your material on people.
I tried the stuff out to make sure it is funny.
That's right. Well, you've been involved in vaudeville for a long, when you were younger, you did a lot of that,
right?
I
did burlesque, and I produced the last 5 burlesque shows here in town.
Yeah.
And so this is just a natural finale to my burlesque kind of things, but the music is incredible, and the comedy is hilarious.
Well, now, how do people find out about you? Do you have a website?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
SteveRossi.com.
SteveRossi.com.
Well, legendary Steve Rossi.
Legendary.
Well, I'm a legend in my own mind.
Well, you're a legend in a lot of people's minds, so
yes,
yes, you have been, and kindly thought of all over this town and throughout the world. So.
Well, I've been here over 50 years, which is amazing. I'm only 43.
Well, it's good to have you here. Now, don't go away. Stay there, because I wanted to, we're going to talk a little bit with April Azzolino. Hi, April.
Hi, Sandy.
How are you doing today?
I'm great.
Yeah, we had a great show last night at the Suncoast.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
I connected with a lot of wonderful people.
I know.
Connections. I really enjoyed it. So thanks WIMA for letting me share the booth.
Oh, sure.
I had a fabulous time.
Yes. Now tell us a little bit about what it is you do.
Okay.
I know, but let's tell the audience.
I work with the Inner Peace Movement,
Okay.
and if anybody wants to look that up, it's innerpeacemovementgroups.com. And I put on workshops, and I help people understand their inner guidance or angels and their intuition and how their intuition works. Because we have 4 perceptions of sensitivity, and that order is clairaudient or clear hearing, intuitive, visionary, you might know that as clairvoyance, prophecy, and feeling. And so I help people discover how their intuition works for them. Because everybody, it works a primary gift, and then the other 3 follow suit. And so I help discern that for people.
Now, have you ever worked with anyone like Steve Rossi?
And I have all of those qualities.
I would
I'm very
love
pleased
to work with Steve Rossi.
Have you worked with entertainers, performers?
I've worked with a lot of people, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I do personal profiles.
Because obviously
to help
you're in the
people do
town
that.
full of entertainers and performers. You know that.
Yes, I do know that.
Yeah.
I met a few last night, I believe.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I know it's very important for performers as well as all people, to do what you're doing, to get in touch with ourselves and to make sure that we're following our path. And
Yeah, and so when they understand how their intuition works and how
Right.
that inner guidance works, as a matter of fact, I'm doing an event next Saturday, January 19th, at the
Okay.
Enchanted Forest Reiki Center, and it's a workshop to help people tune into their inner guidance and their intuition. And so it's a simple and practical approach
I like that.
to their spiritual development.
that's great. Now, how can people find out about what you're doing? Do you have a website?
They can go to innerpeacemovementgroups.com,
Okay.
and they'll get a bigger, clear picture,
Okay.
and it'll showcase all the classes that I'm teaching.
How did you get involved in doing this?
Spirit guided me. I got really lucky. I had a client who, after being in the beauty industry for 28 years, kept noticing a lot of metaphysical and spiritual books on my station when I was working, and finally approached me one day that I believe, April, you would be interested in the Inner Peace Movement.
Ah.
And I said, wow, what's that? And she explained about inner guidance and angels and intuition, and she gave me a personal profile to help me understand how my intuition works.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, well, I knew I had it, but I didn't know exactly the key of how it works. So after I got this profile from her, I kept going to workshops, and I finally went away to be a consultant through the Americana Leadership College. And now I give those personal profiles to people so they can understand
Well, that's
and
great.
give the workshops.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. And again, tell us where people can find you on the website.
InnerPeaceMovementGroups.com.
And your workshop is next week, the 19th,
January 19th, 2 p.m. at the Enchanted Forest Reiki Center.
2 p.m. And then, Rochelle, what time of the day is yours workshop on the 19th? Because I know you have a workshop too. What time was it? 9 to 5. Okay, so we're going to have a couple different workshops going on next weekend.
Well, we got
And
a
it's
lot
going to
of
be
people
tough
in
to figure
town.
out who.
That's right,
And a
lots
lot
of
of people,
people.
because the right people will be drawn to the different workshops.
Go to the right place.
And then we've got the workshop, Brian, that we're doing this Saturday, tapping into your talents, balance your life, and unleash your inner artist. And that's going to be at Backstage Dance Studio, which is going to be from 1 to 4 with Brian and Nancy Haller, who does Feldenkrais, and then myself. So, Amy.
Yes, dear.
What else do you have on your plate there? I know you have some things in front of you. That
Well,
you
I want to talk a little bit more about
intuition.
using intuition,
Yes.
and I don't think we talk enough about critical thinking and decision making. So
Right.
that's a whole other set of things that we want to talk about. But I'm focusing on intuition. I wanted to give everybody a really simple, easy tool to start using. To say, what do I do? In terms, I was working with somebody this morning who has a nonprofit who was trying to decide whether he would collaborate with another nonprofit. So I walked him through this exercise, and so I'll finish that up. So what I want everybody to do is to think of a question, a yes or no question that they need an answer to.
Okay.
So you think about something like he was, do I call this person and ask them about collaborating? So that was his question. That would definitely be a yes.
A yes or no.
That would be a no.
Right.
So then I asked him to take a couple nice deep breaths. Nice deep breath in, hold and release. Nice deep breath in, hold and release. And then in your mind's eye, you imagine a stoplight with the red, the yellow, and the green. And so you imagine that stoplight, and you ask that question. Ask your yes or no question. What color comes up?
Green.
Green. That means go, baby, go. That means go. But he got yellow.
Oh, he did.
And so we talked about it, and he had talked to this fellow before about collaborating, and they were concerned about competition. Well, this was like a year ago, and I said, well, maybe it'll be different this time.
Yeah.
And so he's going to text me after he makes that phone call, and we'll see where it goes. So yes, green would be yeah, go.
Right.
Yellow would be have some caution, and red would be stop. But he got an orange, which was interesting. So it was kind of in between red, and yellow. So I just said, well, really be cautious, but go in and know what is it that you want. What is, again, boundaries, that's huge. We're going to be talking about boundaries this year.
Right.
What is it that you want, and then allow.
Right.
So that's your assignment this week, is to play the stoplight game.
Okay, so Steve.
Yes.
What's your question that you would ask? Is there a question on your mind that you've been contemplating, what you want to do? That's a yes or no question.
Yes. I'm glad I got a hint.
Good job. Good job.
Here all week.
Boy, am I quick.
So Steve, in your business, you've been in the business a long time. I know you've worked with a lot of people. You worked with Howard Stern for years. Now, when you went into working with different people, you worked with Marty Allen, you had to trust your intuition, whether you wanted to go forward and you wanted to work with these people or whether you wanted to work on your own, right?
Yeah.
And so how important is trusting your intuition to you in your line of work?
I think it's very important, but I think when you're talking about professions, it depends upon your qualifications. It's not, not anybody can do what certain professionals do.
Right.
Like what you do as a therapist or whatever it may be. And with me, it's experience as well. Like I teamed up with, when Marty's wife died, I teamed up with the first black comedian, and it was the first black and white comedy team, Slappy White and Steve Rossi. And we did the Carson show about 7 or 8 times, and I would come out first and say, hi, I'm Rossi. And Slappy would come out and say, I'm White. And actually, my intuition was good because we headlined at the Copacabana, the International in New York, the Coconut Grove. In fact, we worked there 3 times. We were the last headliners at the Coconut Grove and at the Ambassador Hotel in Los Angeles. And I was right about the black and white thing because we did the first black pope, a routine on the first black pope. We did the first routine on the first black president, and I'm talking 30 years ago.
And how did you get away with that, talking about that?
Well, because, we know what we're doing.
Right.
We knew what kind of material would work. And we both had tremendous experience. And, he came out as the first black president, and then I said to him, I remember one of the jokes, I said, now that you're the first black president, are you going to go to Africa and visit all your black brothers and sisters? He said, I ain't going to no black Africa to see no brothers and sisters, because he was wearing this crazy looking gown with an Aunt Jemima chef's hat and a big funny diamond ring that was about 1 inch in diameter.
Yeah.
I said, well, why wouldn't you go? He said, because how would I look in the middle of the jungle wearing this white gown with this Aunt Jemima hat kicking monkeys off my El Dorado?
Well, obviously that was a different time and place too.
Yeah, and it was a tougher time to do black humor.
Yeah.
But because I was white and he was black, but we had a lot of acceptance.
Right.
And we did 6 or 7 Sullivan shows.
Yeah. So how many different people did you team up with?
I teamed up with Joey Ross, who was the star of Car 54.
Oh.
He used to go, ooh, ooh. And then and my first partner really was Mae West in 1953 at the Sahara. She gave me my name.
Yes.
Because my real name is Joseph Charles Michael Taffarella. And it took the whole marquee. And then she came down and she said, well, what do you notice up there? I said, my name, it takes the whole sign. It's 33 letters. She said, what about my name? I said, you only have 7. She says, from now on, your name is Steve Rossi. And that's how I got the name.
That's great.
And
That's
I kept
great.
it throughout. And that was I guess that was intuition to keep the name. I never legalized
That's
it.
right.
Wow.
And fortunately, when I met Marty, we became a success under that name.
And no one else tried to take it away from you.
So there's a lot to numerology as well, I would think.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, I think all these tools are very important, and thank you, April. Hi. Thank you so much, and I want to welcome also Melissa Cavalier. She's going to be talking a little bit about some other things, but we're going to be right back after a pause with our sponsors. And if you're just tuning in now, we are broadcasting live on KLAV at the Siena Italian Restaurant at 9500 West Sahara Avenue. This is Lunch with Sandy, and we'll be right back. Thank you. Here we go.
Las Vegas' #1 women's organization for scholarships in the arts. Here again is your
Looks
host,
good.
Sandy Kastel.
Yay! Welcome back to WIMA, Women in Music and Arts, the Sandy Kastel Show. This is Lunch with Sandy, and I'm here with Amy Frost, and we've got a lot of guests today. Hi,
This
Amy.
has been really fun, and we're getting a lot of great information really quickly. Yay.
Yeah, well, it's good. I love bringing entertainers
Yes.
together with people that are working in the healing arts and that that are working with artists, working with people about balancing their lives, working with their intention, working with the vision quest.
Well, and I think it's important what we're doing is we're taking,
Vision
here's
boards.
some cool stuff to do, but here's how some people are using it.
Right.
And I think that's really critical. Having good tools doesn't do you any good if you don't use them in your real life.
Well, I think, this is 2013, and
Is it?
it's a
Oh my
great
God.
opportunity for us to, to put our stuff out there, whatever that stuff may be. Anyway, we're going to welcome Melissa Cavalier. Is that pronounced correctly? Yes.
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you. And you are with Denny Morales. Hi,
Yes.
Denny. Say hi. and I met you last week. Actually, you came out to the radio show when Denny was on it last
Right,
week.
that's
So
correct, yeah.
it's so good to see you again. And I saw you again last Saturday when we were doing the event. So tell us what you do. You're a screenwriter, producer, Watery Flame Productions. What is that?
I'm a screenwriter and producer for Watery Flame Productions. So what we do is films and documentaries that are geared towards bettering the viewer's life through stuff like we're talking about inner guidance system, spirituality, and anything to enlighten the viewer.
And you produce films and documentaries.
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
And how long have you been doing this?
We've had the business for about a year. Me and Denny have been working on films and various types of video things for me 4 years, for him it's been like over 15 years.
And you've got a documentary you're releasing by the spiritual author.
Correct, Neil Donald Walsh.
Neil Donald, yes.
Yeah, it's a
retreat.
Yeah. It's his whole retreat. It's highlights from the retreat. It's called When Everything Changes, Change Everything. Highlights from a spiritual renewal. Yeah, a spiritual renewal retreat. And we're going to be releasing it this month.
And now, is that the documentary you were talking about?
No,
or
that's a
there's
different
another
one. There's
documentary?
another documentary we're working on. That one is called The Last Formula, and it's geared towards people system to create success for their goals. And so we're focusing on talking about things like intuition and things like, a lot of things like that. And we're interviewing many spiritual and inspirational people and successful people, CEOs of companies, and we're looking for that last formula, that using your intuition and things like that are the last formula to really achieving your goals.
Well, and we keep talking about the shift, and I think that's the shift, moving to the intuition in that internal system.
Yes, correct.
Well, that's great. Now, do you have a website where people can find out more about
they
your
can find out
documentaries?
about any of our films or documentaries, The Last Formula, at thelastformula.com.
Okay.
And they can put in their name and email to get updates for any releases that we have. We're going to be releasing the Neil Donald Walsh Retreat documentary this coming month, so they can get updated by going to that website.
The Last Formula. Well, thank you so much. Now, stick around. Don't go anywhere. Kent. Hi, welcome, Kent.
Hi, Sandy. How are you?
Good,
Good to see you again.
I want to thank you so much for being here. I mean, you've been so helpful in setting everything up for us.
Thank you very much.
And it was great to have you on last week, and you got to sing some songs on there, but I know we don't have your tracks queued up right now. But I wanted to talk to you about what are the main projects that you're working on right now?
Well, the main project is the Vegas Goodfellas, and
Yes.
we're here on Thursday nights, and you know, we play all over town, just depending, you know, what's happening at the time and so forth. But that's our concentration, and we have some great musicians. Like I say, we're here Thursday nights, and if you haven't been here on a Thursday night, it is just, it's a great, great time.
It's packed.
It's packed.
It's packed every Thursday night. And I've been coming out, but I wasn't here this Thursday night because I think we were doing something else. But how did you bring everybody together to do that?
Well, we started about 5 years ago. Actually, Paul Stevenson and I have been together now for 13 years, a piano player and great vocalist. And we started the deal about 5 years ago at a restaurant called Lucho's. It's over on Sahara in Durango, and we had a jam session. So these musicians would come over. Some were paid, some weren't paid, but as we got to sample all of these musicians, we just handpicked them, and they're the greatest in town. Played with Sinatra and the Fifth Dimension, the Stray Cats.
And where's Paul? Paul was here
Really
a little
good.
bit ago. Oh, Paul had to leave, right?
Yeah, he left.
And Paul plays keyboards, and he's fabulous. I met him a long time ago at Ferraro's. He was playing over there, and you guys still play there, right?
We that's actually where Paul and I met, was Ferraro's 13 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And we're still doing Ferraro's, excuse me, on Friday and Saturday nights.
Friday, Saturday nights. Thursday nights you're here at the Siena Italian restaurant.
Yes.
And it is packed in here. And of course your crowd probably follows you everywhere you go. But I love the Vegas Goodfellows. It was wonderful. I've sat in with them a couple of times, and I want to thank you for that.
Yeah, we're happy to have you. But other people should also know about the Lunch with Sandy show. I mean, come on down to Siena, have lunch, join us. It's a great experience. We have a lot of fun, and it's a lot of fun to
good fun.
It's a lot of fun to come in and meet the entertainers. You know, Steve Rossi, and Steve, he comes in on Thursdays, and we just have a blast. And you know, Steve is a legend. He's much, you know,
too humble, right?
Too humble. Yeah, he really is. I mean, you know, to listen to this guy, and I would like to ask him for my $20.
Well, you know, Kent, it's how can we find out more about the Goodfellas?
TheGoodfellas.com. It's TheGoodfellas.com.
Okay.
And we've got a little sample video and some things on there, and some great pictures, where we're going to be, what we're going to do. So.
Okay. So everyone can come out to the Siena Italian Restaurant Thursday nights to see you.
We're also on Facebook.
And you're also on Facebook, okay. And then, Melissa, they can find out again about your productions, the documentaries on
thelastformula.com.
lastformula.com. Well, Amy, I think it's about time to wrap it up. Unfortunately, this time goes way too quickly. And we've had some fabulous guests on today. Thank you so much. Rochelle Roberts, and we had Brian Benson, and we had April Angelino, and Melissa Cavalier, and Kent Foote, Gary Anthony, and everybody in the audience, and of course, the legendary Steve Rossi. And I want to send out a shout to Bruce. Bruce, thank you, the Commodore, Commander. Wait, what is it?
It's Commodore Commander.
Yes, okay. Yes, he's also on KLAV, and Bruce has been coming out and helping me set up everything here at the Siena Italian Restaurant. And I just want to say, you know, again, that we are part of WIMA, Women in Music and Arts. And our organization, you can find out more about our organization on wimafoundation.org. We accept donations. We get
looking
members.
for angels to help us do good work.
Angels to help us do good work. That is exactly what we're doing. We do showcases, we do events, we're going to have conferences, and we team up and we do a lot of community outreach. We do the radio show so that we can showcase all of our artists and the other entertainers that are alive and living in Las Vegas, Nevada. Live and living, that's good. Huh? Did you get that? And it's so good to see some familiar faces out here in the audience today. And we are WIMA, Women in Music and Arts. Please come and join us every Wednesday from 12 to 1. We are broadcasting live from Siena Italian Restaurant at 9500 West Sahara on KLAV 1230 a.m. every Wednesday. Thank you so much. This is Sandy Kastel. We'll see you next week on Lunch with Sandy.